video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. I know it's been a minute since I've been live. I've actually been, taking a little break, little hiatus, and all of that. I'm definitely I definitely need to jump in on the uploads, and this Tyla situation is something I want to talk about again. It's actually a small situation. Shout out to Professor Black Truth as well. He did a great video on delineation a couple of days ago. I put it in my um, community tab. Shout out to Jeff St. James for having BGS on there. That was a really great conversation. And there's some good stuff going on. Shout out to folks that are, preaching that matriarchy definitely exists and the matriarchy has the black community, because I'm starting to see that word being shared a lot more, even across different platforms. It's starting to that's like, if there's is one thing that I can do, little thing I can do when it comes to this conversation, this dialogue, is to get black men very comfortable talking about matriarchy and talking about the fact that the matriarchy exists. The matriarchy is under white supremacy. No, that is what's wrong with black culture. No, it's not that black women are doing better, because they're not. The black community will never be a good community and competitive community as long as the women think they're better than the men, and the men are out here like basically in this kind of lull state, in this guilt state. And it doesn't matter how pro-black anybody is, especially if they're not talking about the economics of pro-blackness, which is the main parts of it that actually matter, because that's what powers everything else other than the cultural part. But on the cultural side, we got to get more black men being more comfortable talking about the matriarchy. That's actually what's wrong with the black community. And the fact of the matter is, nobody wants to clearly identify it, which means nobody's really serious. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't understand how your community actually functions, and you don't understand what system it is, then you can't. The first thing with troubleshooting is diagnosis. And the point of diagnosis is finding what the actual problem is. If you cannot find what the problem is, then you're never going to fix it. So you just start spinning your wheels, which is why these conversations end up being circular. I actually wanted to say a little bit of that before I get started, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about Tyla and South Africans. This is going to be one of them ones as far as these videos. So I apologize about anybody that might be offended. I'm going to say what I mean. I mean what I say. So it is what it is. So I'm telling you right now, if you're somebody that's new to my channel and you have like kind of reservations on FBAs, or you have like, you're sensitive, I'm telling you right now, this is your warning. Don't listen. People that, that y'all follow me, Everybody else, I'm telling you right now, don't listen, because you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad. And I'm telling you right now, I don't give a damn. I'm apologizing for you being in your feelings, but now that I think about it, I'm giving you a warning, which I never do. So here's the deal. I was going through, Tyla has come up. I don't turn Tyla's music when it's on the radio. Tyla's music is all right. I think kind of her music is pretty. Her music has kind of like the same problem as like Drake's music. Drake's later music, before like the first two albums, it's soulless. It's good music. It's not bad music. It's just soulless. It's just soulless. And I don't have to. I could not like you and still think your music has soul in it. I think Doja Cat's music has soul in it, even though I don't like Doja Cat. Doja Cat is she's an honorable mention. She's not on the. Hold on, who is it? Malika Andrews, Megan Thee Stallion, Doechii. Doja Cat is on the batters up to being on my Mount Rushmore of black women I can't stand, but she definitely would be all BB all black BB team, second team, but I'm not gonna put her on a Mount Rushmore. She's definitely right on the edge. I still got one open slot. Doechii, Malika Andrews, and Megan are those three slots, and I got one more slot for that. I'm not gonna put her on there, but she's close with the goofy stuff that she's done. She's really close, but as far as when it comes to, Tyla. So her music just doesn't have soul in it. It doesn't. It's and the two things is wrong with, so Tyla. Let me say this and then I'll get back to the original. So the other thing I have issue with Tyla is the way she's marketed. It's very inevitable. It's kind of like the same issue a lot of people had with Hillary Clinton. It's this inevitability of how she's presented. And there is no, like, this is a foreign person. And Rihanna wasn't presented that way at all. Akon, no person, that doesn't work no matter who's presented. Okay, let me just be very clear about that. But that definitely doesn't work when somebody that's not from here is presented. And the other thing I need to just be so clear. The third thing, and I don't say this is really a marketing analysis, for her team, because I really blame her team, but I don't think she pushed back against them enough. Is nobody gives a fuck about Afrobeats outside of black people. Hispanics don't give a fuck about Afrobeats. White people don't give a fuck about Afrobeats. Asians don't really give a fuck about Afrobeats. I'm talking about white Americans. They don't give a fuck about Afrobeats. I'm not. I mean, I know y'all keep saying this is the next thing. I'm not trying to be mean, but they don't. They don't. The white people like the K-pop shit. That's what they like, which is kind of like remix our shit, but that's what they like. I'm not gonna act like technically the Demon Hunters are like a remix of black people. So I'm not gonna say that because their shit is different enough, even though they're Korean American. That's what the white people like. That's what the alpha generation likes. Let's be very clear. That's what they like. The black folks aren't necessarily as keen on the K shit, versus black people, with anime is Japanese stuff, but that's not music. But the white people, that market, that's what they like. That's what they like. That's the new shit that they like. That's what people are trying to act like Afrobeats is going to be. And quite frankly, I don't even know how powerful Afrobeats is going to be in Europe, quite frankly, with the way Europe is. So that's the reality around Tyla. That's the fucking reality. That's the reality. I know they thought they could just slide her into the Rihanna slot, but this is a different era. People are different. Rihanna came out like 2005, 2004, 2005. That's a different era. America's very different than what it is now. The media landscape, everything is very different than what it is now. Even the pop landscape is different than what it is now. And so Tyla's team, when it comes to America, they are garbage. They are trash. She really shouldn't even have that team when it comes to this, because she will not be successful. And this is not based on, my personal opinion. Like, this is not really based. This is based on their actions. The music is not the issue. It's like everything else. And how they act like, well, the music is good. Isn't that enough? No, it's not. Because quite frankly, there are artists that are so much better than her that they have different problems. For instance, I don't know if a lot of y'all know that white girl JoJo. She was very popular. She's like 35 now. She's like 34, 35 now. But she was right there with Taylor Swift, Chris Brown. She would have been like the Christina Aguilera to like Taylor Swift. Very strong voice, could put songs out, very good stuff. She got locked up in more like purgatory when it comes to music, where they prevented her from putting out music. Unfortunately, I hate to admit this, but that was actually a black dude that did that to her. It was a black producer. Actually, the person I believe is what's her name? I'm blanking. She Aaliyah's uncle, who is a manager, actually recruited JoJo to actually not so much to replace Aaliyah, but that was going to be the new talent to keep the label that was built around Aaliyah alive after Aaliyah died. We're not talking about like Missy Elliott or anything like that. And he actually messed her up, and I but yeah, that's very messed up. I was very annoyed when I found that out. I was like, God damn, because I always thought what happened to her. But my point is that I saw a video, because I know y'all after all this time, why am I jumping back up? So I saw a video of this this chick, this color bitch from South Africa. I'll go through the video play by play, but basically the chick is sitting here talking about Black American women, basically the Black American women are jealous of Tyla. Black American women are insecure. She basically said, and I quote, Black South African women, or no, she said South African women, not Black, South African women. Although I think she might have said Black. Let me, hold on, give me a second. No, she did say, press 2 if you can hear me. Press 2 if you can hear me. No, she said, she did say Black. So it's interesting. It's interesting how this chick that's lighter than Tyla. This chick that's lighter, she's a very attractive woman. I'm not even gonna lie. This chick that's lighter than Tyla doesn't have an issue with saying Black. She literally puts in the post, Black South African women have more confidence than Black American women. So interesting how in her title, in very big words, she knows how to put Black in this caption so I can see it. And she's lighter than Tyla. This chick looks like she has less Black in her than Tyla does. But Tyla, it was like pulling teeth for her to say she's Black. And if you want to play that she's young and dumb, and I got new information. I've talked about this topic before, but I got new information while I'm saying it. Young and dumb. She knew not to say that she was Black. That's what the issue actually was. So this is where we're at. Some of y'all been hearing me rant about this a little bit in the Discord. So basically, Tyla's got a new song out. This I Cry song. You know, it's a decent song. It's a decent song. Like people say that she can't put out hits. Yeah, she can. She can put out songs. I'm not gonna act like she can't. And she did an interview with Ebro recently. And in that interview, she finally says that she's mixed with Black and this and this. And she said she didn't understand. Bullshit. But she said she didn't understand. Keep in mind, Ebro is not as big as Charlamagne right now because Ebro got fired from like his job like not that long ago. So Ebro is kind of in the wind. Obviously, he has his own kind of thing. So it's not like, you know, he's completely off the map, clearly. But he has his own thing. So it's not, Ebro doesn't have the same leverage he used to. So it's not like talking to Charlamagne. Well, Charlamagne can hold you accountable. I don't know. I'm not going to make insinuations that Ebro agreed to let her talk or whatever, but at the end of the day, they were ready to talk about this now. And I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, why that is. Number one, they thought they like again, you know, obviously I'm in the manosphere. You know what I think about colorism. I'm not saying colorism don't exist, but the way that it's talked about here is really on some women crying type shit. That really is really women just fielding complaints. Keep in mind, this is post that Love Island bullshit. But what we do know is from a business standpoint, that's a button that if you press that button, that's not a good, that's one of the worst buttons you can, if you're trying to get money out of Black women, the colorism button is not, if your objective is to get money out of Black women, the colorism button is not a button you want to press. Whether you're a man or a woman, that is not a button you want to press. Lotto is actually low-key finding that out. That's not a button you want to press. And if black women don't have this kind of, if they can't identify with you, and they don't have this, it depends. If they have this identity, like for instance, Cardi B, Black women see a lot in her defiance, in their mind that she's accepted being a hoe. Like people accept her being a hoe, and she's celebrated for that. But she acts ghetto and all this other stuff. So because Black women identify with that type of those type of cultural attitudes, and Cardi B will at least give lip service to things. She definitely will do that. Who, by the way, again looks less Black. She's not Black at all, but she looks a lot less Black than Tyla. Once again, you know, Cardi B gets this pass, you know, because you ain't really heard, you ain't like you got an audio floating around of her saying burnt bitch and this is this, even though I've heard her say it, and she don't say it all the time. That's in the past, so it's not in the public consciousness, right? So Black women give her this pass. Right, she's done videos with Megan Thee Stallion, even when Megan Thee Stallion was down bad. You know, she's done stuff with other people that they like, so they give her this pass. You know, she gets this pass. You know, that BS. You know, right? And so if they identify with certain things you're doing, then they may give you a pass. A lot of Black women give Doja Cat a pass. Not as many as Cardi B, but they give her a pass. Hell, there's Black men who give Doja Cat a pass. But right. But then again, Doja Cat kind of comes from blah, blah, blah. And by the way, Doja Cat's dad is South African, ironically. By the way, fun fact, Brittany Renner is from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Same place Nolan died. FYI. I'm surprised she hasn't spoken on it. But anyway, so she does this interview, and that's why this is where the new stuff is coming out. So she does this interview, And you know, she talks about I'll give you like the clips and all that when I put it together in the video. But it's like, I understand, you know, now this is this, even though no, it's not that you know, you understood what we were saying then. You're not dumb. Like, I mean, she has a degree in like mining. You know, so she has a degree. She's not stupid. She listened to some of this music. She just sings some of this African, you know, this R&B music back in the day. We know what it is. You're looking at America from afar, but the reality, but the reality is you try to wait folks out, and anybody could have told you black women hold grudges. Ask Cooking with Kaya about that. Hell, ask TT from Love Island about that. Black, if they put you on that pick me list, unless you got supporters, black women to support you, you're kind of fucked. And it's really not a lot the men can do for you unless they actually, you know, I mean, look at, you're not gonna get the Young Miami spin that support. You're just not, because again, they identify with that. So that's why this is back, right? So she comes here, she basically says they're trying to make another play in the United States. It's been a year since that happened, a little bit less than that, maybe like 8 months, and they're trying to make a play, make another run for it. And that's fine. I personally don't have an issue with her. However, this is where this gets into that FBA kind of tether shit, which is hence the title. Another issue why she's gonna fail is because I just gotta be honest. Tyla's audience is trash. Tyla's audience is like Swifties. How a lot of white men feel about Taylor's fans. These fans are not good. These are not good fans. You all are not helping her. You're actually making people that would be neutral be on the it's not like her songs compel you to like them. It's not like her songs are just so good they're compelling, and it's not like that. And I think back to like Drake fans before Drake fans became, you know, what they are now, you know, and it's like, yo, your fandom can mess you up. Tyla fans is as bad as Megan Thee Stallion fans. They're very parasocial. And then on top of that, it's kind of like Tyla's over here. Nobody like it's not like, okay, we're in South Africa and we're trying to tell y'all how to be in Africa, the whole continent, or we're in Europe. We don't have an opinion about people outside the United States because we don't give a fuck. Just like how if an American was in South Africa, you wouldn't see us jump up and down as much about this colored shit because that's the goofy shit y'all want to do in South Africa. And if you all are so fucking stupid, I'm talking about the African South Africans that you all don't understand. If you're so fucking dumb that you all don't understand, like, okay, even if you all couldn't fuck with the white people, the Afrikaners, y'all should have definitely dismantled that color shit. Y'all should have never allowed them to basically act like they're forming an ethnic group. You should have. It's like if all immigrants were to say they were one like legal category. You should have never allowed them to do that. That should have been something you dismantled once you got at it. Because it's not like them Afrikaners are gonna sit here. It's not like Elon Musk and them types are gonna jump out the window for people that are not white. They're not, because that's not in their nature to do that. Y'all should have never allowed them to do that. Y'all let them create a buffer class and submit that after that revolution, which was some of the dumbest shit in the world. I get why y'all let the nukes go, because they probably sanction you and be on your ass, but that shit y'all should have dismantled as soon as that apartheid ended. And the fact that y'all let them like separate like that and organize like that is so fucking stupid. And you've heard me talk about the light skin shit and all that other shit. And yeah, I stand by that shit. But the thing is, a lot of that shit is not going to be able to be open in your face done. If that's done, it will have to be done very quietly. And it'll definitely have to be, people will definitely have to be able to give benefits to the greater group. In South Africa, it's completely flipped because the population is flipped. And so they serve as a buffer class. Like the Afrikaners control about 70% of the economy in South Africa. And then when you add the coloreds there, it's another 15%. So it's 85%. That's fucking retarded. Even though I think the colored's like 5% of that country. That's fucking retarded. There's no scenario when you all have the population and the political government, there is no scenario where that's not fucking retarded. There's no scenario. And no excuse. You can give me an excuse on the Afrikaners because they can get back up with other white people. Fine. Even though technically y'all should have paid for that land. Y'all should have found a way of pushing them out, to be honest, too. Or at least degrading those numbers. But cool. But no, that should have never happened. There's no excuse because they're not backing them up. They have no backup. So y'all just let that happen. But anyway, this woman is actually would be considered colored, right? And it's a mulatto bitch because they use those terms interchangeably when they're talking to us. It's just the mulatto shit. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's stop. This is what Sage Steele wants to shout out to Xanatos. This is what like that's what that is. And my thing is, I'm not here to tell you that's not really my opinion. I don't give a fuck about what goes on South Africa in that way. Because if y'all cool, then y'all cool. My issue is when she comes over here and then y'all try to tell us how the fuck we need to think. And because first of all, I notice y'all never say that to white people because white people know what it is. White people established that one drop rule shit. We didn't establish that. White people established that. And y'all never have nothing to say about white people when it comes to that. So now y'all are attacking black women. Yes, I'm defending black women in this case. You are black American women. You all are attacking black American women because... And it's not like black American women don't deal with light-skinned women. It's not like that. That's not what it is. In fact, one of the things this chick said, who's very beautiful, by the way, this chick said is, this is funny. This actually what prompted me to do the video. She said, you know how when you drive by, the hair shit, all the, beauty supply stores, stuff like that. She actually, and I believe her when she said this, she actually said that she used to model for stuff like that. That was part of the stuff that she modeled with. And she was like, you know who they got for that? They got a color girl. Yes, dumbass. We know you look like us, which is why we got upset. That that's why black women got upset when you was telling when Tyla was trying to act like she wasn't black. She was playing in our fucking face. That's what the issue was. Like we look like that's what the issue was. And quite frankly, your hair and shit, there's plenty of black women's got hair like her. Her hair is not like unique. I didn't have to use a real. Yes, there's a lot of black women that have the kind of hair you have. They just keep wearing weave and fucking it up. Like you putting a hot comb on your hair. Like that's all you're doing. Like especially hair you're seeing. That's not abnormal. But she really thought she was saying something. And it's like a 6-minute video. So I'll go through it. Let me know if you want to see it. And I see press 2 if you can hear me. Press 2 if you can hear me, just to be clear. And so I'm like, the issue I have, why I keep coming back to this topic, is it's amazing how a lot of South Africans will sit here and say, let me be very clear. Black women are insecure as fuck. But black women do not have an insecurity issue when it comes to other black women. Maybe Afro-Latinas, Tinas, you can say, but if we're talking about brown-skinned women, no, they actually don't have that insecurity. I'm not talking about ugly women. I'm not talking about fat bonnet. We talk about a black woman that's a 6 and up. They don't have that issue. First of all, in Africa, y'all don't know how to wear weave. Y'all don't know how to wear wigs. I don't know why the fuck that is. I'm not trying to make fun. Y'all don't. I don't know what even in Nollywood, y'all don't. Now, that's mainly Nigerians, but I've seen that pretty consistent. I'm not a fan of weave, but God damn it, I'm telling you right now, you all will have a buzz cut before you wear that goofy shit and represent me outside. The shit y'all be doing. Y'all be having the Davy Crockett weave. I don't know what the fuck you all are doing. Like, what these playing in y'all face with that bullshit. And she doesn't have that, by the way. But to be fair, South Africans are not known for that. So I'll say that. But the fact of the matter is, I get it. Y'all think y'all like Hong Kong and China. Y'all think y'all a little bit more Western than the rest of Africa because y'all got some white folks and some mixed with white folks. I get that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I never hear y'all say nothing about white people don't fuck with Tyla. They took her money and let her parade her half-naked ass. Fucking a lot of the city girls wear more clothes than Tyla does. Tyla literally has like a piece of fabric in the front that covers her not having no chest. If I'm just, and I'm gonna keep it all over real, not having no chest, a piece of fabric that they call a skirt, and they have as much skin showing as humanly possible, almost like it's a pedophilic ritual. I'm not gonna act like she ain't got nobody at all, but like, not really. She got something for a white, like if you were comparing it to a white girl, but like other than that, it's like it literally looks like a pedophilic ritual. And I've heard other women bring this up, where when she has nothing. It's almost like it's just a piece of fat for real. And the thing is, they paraded y'all out there with that one song, Water, right? Where she's throwing water all over herself. Look, it's a good gimmick, but don't act like that's not. I mean, let's not play like that's not what it is. And ain't nobody buying. No white person gives a fuck about her music. Most white people don't even know who Tyla is, even though she was at the Nickelodeon thing, even though she was at the fucking like pick late night show. And they took your money to shop you around, but they weren't serious. They weren't serious. That wasn't, y'all are playing yourself. And they told you behind the scenes, you're going to have to get the black people on your side. Why? Because they got Sabrina Carpenter, who's homegrown, Erie, Pennsylvania, with her goofy ass. She's 26 now, so they don't got a lot of time to really push her. That's why they keep popping album after album. We know Taylor, you know. They got Tate McRae, who's 21. That's the girl that they're pushing up slow on the dance side of pop. They got, think Kesha, but more like Midwestern. Think Kesha / Sydney Sweeney. You know, as far as look. Then they got, for the middle America crowd, which she has a very strong organic audience. Then they got, basically I call them the whisper bitches. All these bitches do whisper music. Then you got Billie Eilish that does like Adele / Sam Smith / meets feminist, meets new age feminist. And she's done global tours. So she's the only one of the three that's done global tours. And she's like 23. They're all, by the way, Billie Eilish is like 54. I mean, not 54, 5'4", 5'3". Fucking Sabrina's 5'1", and Tate McRae's like 5'10". Why does that matter? That matters is because they're like the white versions of Tyla. At least Sabrina Carpenter is the closest. There's not a lot of daylight between Sabrina Carpenter and Tyla. Tyla would be a redundancy for Sabrina Carpenter, which is somebody they're trying to give room to breathe because they have corporations have investment in her because she was a Disney chick. So that's the three bitches they're pushing. And so they don't control her music globally as far as Tyla, so they have no reason to push you here. So they're like, let me tell you what, they gave her the token deal. If you can get black people to fuck with you, we'll put you on, because at least that fills a token slot for another black American we ain't gotta have. And honestly, I like what's her name? LMA. I like LMA. People say, well, Tyla's more popular. Yeah, she may be more globally popular, but if you're looking at the type of music that actually will work, LMA is a good example of that. And if you look at how LMA is like a slow burn, and LMA is doing songs with other women as well as dudes. Rihanna did features with a lot of rappers, quite a few rappers. Tyla has this kind of walled off bullshit. Like, and you're and then the fans act like, I get it, that's your GOAT. But understand, your GOAT isn't even operating, is not even in the NBA right now. She's barely in Division 1. And I get it, that's your GOAT. But the reality is, there's a lot of, the thing that frustrates me about the Tyla situation is the easy marketing decisions that are being made. There's decisions that are being made that it's like, it's very obvious there's bias. Y'all don't like black Americans. It's very obvious. Not necessarily her, but her team. And it's very obvious. And that's like, y'all might as well not even deal with the black American market, because it's almost better to not do something and then you establish yourself stronger everywhere else than it is for you to spend this energy basically fucking creating bad will when it comes to black people. White people do not fuck with her. And she has been promoted to them. They don't. And I never hear South Africans talk about why white people don't fuck with her. I never hear that. I only hear you all having all this smoke for black Americans or black American women, whether I agree with the colorism shit or not. The reality is, all she had to do was say in South Africa, we do it differently. We call it colored. But yeah, I mix with black, white, and Indian. That's it. If she would have said that, people would have been good. You wouldn't even have a problem. But you didn't do that. You wanted to make a stand, and y'all get behind her making that stand, talk about what the fuck we don't know. You are here. We are not there. You are here. I don't think y'all understand that. You are trying to sell to the black American consumer and the American consumer at large. We're the ones that mainly define what's cool, especially when something is not white. We definitely define what that is. The Hispanics can't make their shit cool. These motherfuckers don't know what the fuck a Bad Bunny is. Even though Bad Bunny is very big in Latin America. They don't know. Just like, Enrique Iglesias is very big in Latin America. Mark Anthony was very big. They don't know what the fuck that is here. The money's here. The money's here. The touring tickets and prices are here. And that's why you came back. And her fans, and one of the one things you should have fucking did, what her team should have did being gone, is you should have reset these fans and tell these fans, y'all need to chill the fuck out. There's a certain way you need to communicate, because you're not helping us doing this. You're basically creating bad will, bad advertising, bad publicity on social media. And it's almost like they don't fucking understand that's what's going on. Well, I get it. Y'all don't got the internet like we got it. Like, you all social media isn't as sophisticated. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying our shit, we're where the shit came from. So our shit is way more sophisticated. There's a lot more people on here, especially now. And we got way more numbers. America's the third largest country in the world. Only China and India have us. And the Indians ain't fucking with you like that. And that's a 1.5 billion people. Even though you got connection to them. That's the truth. And that's a fucking truth, man. And so when I see these people talk about black American women insecure, hell yeah, they're insecure. But they're not insecure about that, though. That's not what the issue is. And I get tired of people talking like one of my biggest pet peeves is when people, because y'all know I'm a verbose person, but it's like they're willfully being ignorant. Oh, I catch that fairly quickly. And I'm like, I'm not just going to be talking to be talking. I know you understand what the fuck I'm saying. So if you just going to play, that's what I call playing in my face. We're just not going to have a conversation. And that's what she did. And what she thought was the shit would blow over. But again, that color, number one, people don't give a fuck about Tyla like that anyway. Like LMA is mixed. But it's cool being mixed. That's not the issue. The issue is you're going out of your way to say you're not black. That's what you were trying to do, because you wanted to leave room for other audiences, because you know your team knows what anti-blackness is. So you're trying to take black out of the conversation, because in your mind, you're like, oh, well, everybody already knows. Look, they can look at her. So why do we need to make that a part of it? Well, that's kind of how it is in America. I mean, the white people already know you black. They already put you in that category regardless of what the fuck you saying, because they can look at you and tell what it is. And they're going to act accordingly, which is why they had to create all these damn categories, because they ran you with the white people, you would have lost. That's why they created that Afrobeat. She won the first Afrobeats. That's marketing. Get the fuck out of here. You do better creating a K-pop category. They did that to give her an excuse to give her an award. And you buy into that. We see that. That's fake as fuck. That's fake as fuck. And you're not even doing features with anybody. You have this kind of, oh, I'm me, bitch. You went to school for mining. You was about to be a secretary at a mining company doing that De Beers diamond bullshit. That's what you went to school for. If you don't get the fuck out of my face acting like you come from this, oh, I come from this thing, bitch, you a cute little, bitch, come on. If a nigga fucked you in high school, it wouldn't be so, oh man, I fucked a Tyla. Like, I mean, Tyla is like at best a 7. I would probably say she at best a 7. I don't know if that's the. I mean, shit. The chick that I'm even responding to look way better than Tyla. Like, truth be told. So and if she's quote unquote colored, and the other thing is colored. Fuck what you're saying. Colored is not an ethnic group. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying, motherfucker. Africa is the third. Only thing about Africa is fucking De Beers diamonds and Elon Musk. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's cut the bullshit. I've interacted with enough Afrikaners, yo. Let's cut the bullshit. Y'all really trying to act like project like y'all are something like a globe. Y'all are not South Korea, like y'all some kind of global sensation. Like your opinion actually matters. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I don't need to be an asshole like that. People can call that American arrogance. I'm a light-skinned nigga myself. It doesn't matter. Like nobody gives a fuck about what South Africa. Nobody gives a fuck, y'all. Like on some real shit, nobody gives a fuck. You got motherfuckers that literally is saying we are the Americans, and that's like the Bloods over there, like a big gang. Nobody gives a fuck. Now these white people that came over here and realized what the fuck they missing because they ain't got to worry about people pickpocketing their ass all day, every day. Now y'all really see why we be like, what the fuck y'all talking about? True, and to be fair, Paris ain't really shit like that anymore, nor is England like that either. But it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, seriously, y'all are really having this conversation, arguing like y'all really got some leverage. Y'all don't have no leverage, yo. Y'all don't have no fucking leverage. Y'all really think like y'all opinion actually means something. And again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm just trying to be real. You are in the American market. You're in the United States market, and you are trying to get united. Like the way you all are doing it is so fucking the lack of game, the social awkwardness, and y'all actually are not doing that girl any favors. And I know she knows more than she acts like she does. She acts like, oh, I didn't know. Now that I understand it, bitch, you understood it because you was listening to R&B when you was young. You 22 years old. That means you was. Yeah, I mean, come on, you're not dumb. Even if she was listening to the old shit, you're not fucking stupid. You understood it. Now it's just how you present it. And the thing is, like, again, the biggest knock on Tyla is Tyla comes off as this fake mean girl bitch. And it's not people projecting that shit. It's not. It's just that shit is accepted because you all have more of a racial hierarchy in South Africa. I mean, we have it here too, but people ain't about to be playing in our face, like in our face. That's some shit y'all be dealing with. Anyway, let me go through some of the notes. I said what I wanted to say. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all get the likes up. Likes are free. If y'all picking up what I'm putting down, make sure y'all support the Cash App. What's up? Caveman, forever blessed. Ray, as always. Dr. Dizzle, Lord Distro just made a video about Tyla. LMAO. Okay, yeah, because they being stupid. I'll check out. Let me screenshot that. I'll check out that Lord Distro. Because they being stupid, man. And unfortunately, it's really her team and it's her fans more than her. If I had to rank like the ones that are pissing me off, it's her team and her fans. And I really feel bad because somebody need to be in there to tell her, like, y'all are fucking up. Y'all are fucking this chick up. And y'all better look at Burner Boy. Burner Boy is low-key bigger than Tyla. And Burner Boy is not big here because his goofy ass, I'm an arrogant Nigerian. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Nobody, like, really, Burner Boy low-key need somebody to put hands on him to let him know. Nigga, people, you can get your ass whooped. Now, don't nobody really give a fuck about no Nigeria. Like, dead ass. Hell, Nigerians are starting to be not liked globally as well as in Africa. Like, I don't know why I'm Burner Boy. Nigga, Chris Brown can barely walk around being arrogant like that. Like, I don't know why you think, like, seriously, these niggas, like, nigga, you can get these hands, you can get robbed. I don't know what the fuck you think this is. You can definitely get robbed, dude. Because it sounds like it might do you some good. But, Sound Spirit, just, I don't even know what Afrobeats sound like, yeah. I mean, Afrobeats, the biggest thing they could have did with Afrobeats would be Black Panther. And I know people upset about the Black Panther and the dude. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm not as mad because I'm looking at who they could have got this Black American, right? They could have did the Killmonger thing, but they ain't trying to get into Michael B. Jordan business like that. They ain't trying to because he's a high risk for them having to pay him a lot more money, and they ain't trying to pay nobody. So it is what it is. I like that dude what he did in Alien. So and you know I'm happier they picked him to Damson Idris, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna let that one ride for now. She doesn't do Afro beats. She does Emma Panio. That's native. Man, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not trying to be an asshole, Smitty, but if it's in Africa, it's fucking Afro beats. Like as far as like how we're gonna interpret it here, we're not getting all of that. It's pop music. It's pop music. Yeah, you could say like her. It's kind of like saying if I label something R&B. Like obviously Chris Brown does R&B songs, Usher does R&B songs, but is that the same R&B is like Case or is like Music Soul Child? No, but could you lump it in a very very general R&B term? Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, anything coming out of fucking Africa that sound remotely is Afro beats, just like how all K-pop ain't the same. So I get what you're saying. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that anthropology shit. But that's good to know. And by the way, they do present a lot. There's a lot of spots that do present her music as Afrobeats music. Because in that way, yeah. Plus, a lot of Caribbean people have FBA relative. I have a whole bunch of light, bright cousins that are FBA. Well, this is why we expect more from Caribbeans than the island by island bullshit and games they play, because Caribbeans do come out of slavery. So we actually expect more out of Caribbeans than Africans, because Caribbeans weren't colonized. Caribbeans were enslaved too. But, you know, people gonna have their own reasons to come for the crown. South Africans are the type to stand in line for an AIDS shot after they were told it's an AIDS shot. I don't know. I don't know about all that. I do know South Africans kind of think they a little bit different because they had white people live under them. So I'll say that. All right, I appreciate y'all doing too. I've never understood why Caribbean people team up with Africans. Yeah, I mean, this isn't. I haven't seen that, but I'm not looking for that. So I'll go with what you're saying about the team up, because truth be told, Caribbeans think they better than Africans too. But it's because we got the crown. That's what it is. In their mind, they come at Black Americans the same reason why Black American women come at Black men, because it's this height. They're playing this racial hierarchy game that Black men are not playing, by the way. This is why when they always talk about we compete against them, it's projection. Same thing when they say that about us at the Tether level. When they say it's projection. It's projection. It's projection. He said, La Zulu, but it's true statement though. South African women are more confident in themselves. Okay, so I'd have to hear here's a problem, Zulu. The problem, Zulu, is this is the water you're swimming in the United States. This is like, for instance, this light-skinned chick, this chick that you see, if I were to give you a light-skinned equivalent, like an actual light-skinned equivalent. And here's another thing. How many of them chicks are dating white men? Zulu. How many of them light-skinned chicks actually date white men? Because a big source of a lot of Black insecurity, Black female insecurity, is them trying to date non-Black men and play a racial hierarchy game. Because remember, it's not a lot of Afrikaners. They're a small population. And they're very big on kind of keeping it clean, you know, for to say. And keep in mind, saying that South Africans are more confident. South African population is 65 million people. Saying California's population is 40 million people. That's like saying California girls are more confident. That's like what that's saying. You're talking like, and even amongst like what, we're like 40 million people. And keep in mind, this is a mixed chick saying this. This is a light-skinned mixed chick saying this. And then how is this quote unquote confidence defined? Like, seriously. Like give me an example of actually describe what did you mean when they say confident? What does that actually mean? They're more confident. What does that mean? Does that mean that they'll be able to get white men at a better clip if they're African? Like, what is that? What does that actually mean? Does that mean they don't wear weave? What does that actually mean? And one thing that a lot of y'all need to like be careful of is y'all really need to be careful of what do I always say? Don't go red pill for black women only to remain blue pill for other groups. Don't. Black men have a very bad habit of, this is why niggas be getting robbed. This is why dudes go overseas and be messed up, because a lot of dudes, they fall in love with the other. And they start looking at stuff through Google eyes. A lot of y'all do that with Brazil. A lot of y'all, I'm going to tell you, a lot of y'all that went to Brazil and y'all talked about how great Brazil, you're fucking liars. A lot of y'all are not telling the whole honest, transparent truth about Brazil, about who y'all dealing with, and a lot of the dynamics to go down there. Or to be fair, a lot of y'all ain't been there long enough. Because I got people on the ground and they're showing me receipts. I'm talking about with the black women in Brazil. And I don't want to hear no excuses about where I've been. I don't want to hear none of that. Because we're faced with black people and it's easier to go against us. Yeah, that is true. I mean, the issue with Tyla is a very simple issue. Tyla was asked a simple question about how mixed are you? A question that Lotto's been asked. 50%. A question that Cardi B has been asked. She asked, I'm Afro-Latina. I got like, grandmas, blah, 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 but I'm Dominican. So I would be like an Afro-Latina. Even though I don't think she really believes that, but she gave lip service to it. Look how big Cardi B is. I get the game you playing. You want to pretend. You're trying to, that's their way of trying to en route anti-blackness. Well, then this is not a place you should have came to then. That's a very immigrant way of addressing it, which could work in Europe. That doesn't work here, though, because it's going to be interpreted as you're playing in our face. Ebro is corny biracial too. He should relate to Tyla. Okay, I can see how they did it. But again, it's like you went out of your way, because she never has an issue talking about Indian. She did the same bullshit Kamala Harris did. It's the same bullshit. And it's like you benefit from all this stuff. You're coming in here to try to get acceptance and benefit here, rather than just doing the music, doing partnerships, collabs with other people. Because that's the other thing she don't do. She don't do collabs. She tries to create this wall, and the women can detect that. And so the women are like, you good. And honestly, they not really going at her like they could be. She ain't getting the cookie with Kaya treatment. She really ain't. So black women ain't even going at her that hard. They're really not. But it's like you keep playing. And I'm going to tell you, they're not going to win the petty. You don't have the leverage. And again, what they thought was white people was going to deal with her. Say they don't need the the market. That didn't work. That doesn't work. And because that doesn't work, they don't know what to do. I did say that. They identify with ratchet behavior. Absolutely. And they don't tolerate Cardi B. They actually admire Cardi B. It's actually kind of sad. Cardi B is not tolerated. She is admired by black women. Maybe not as much as Megan. I wouldn't say, but she has her black female fans. He said, yeah, they do, because there's still resentment about it. We're only one group of black people in the first world, and a lot of them do look at us for culture. I mean, no, and black people never ask for that, though. We don't go all around the world like Johnny Appleseed spreading our culture. We never ask for that. That's not our fault. That's not our fault. But yet, they're the ones with the confidence, right? Rhythm and blues gave birth to reggae, which gave birth to dancehall, but a lot of Jamaicans don't even know that. I mean, I'm not, I'm not gonna argue with that. But, I don't know how somebody can brag about rapping niggas and not get canceled. Had a dude brag about drugging bitches, he get canceled. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Why would there be resentment? I think this assumption of negativity has to be challenged. Okay, there's resentment. Why? Why would I resent someone or some people help me? I don't know what you're talking about. Shout out to Big Chris. Oh yeah, Jamaican women are wild and dumb too. Black Americans understand the color designation, and we know it's more racial character. It's a color character. Absolutely. And they try to pretend in a level of denialism with that shit. Like, I promise you, if I look at literally all the categories that have to do with quality of life, money, economics, it's going to be Afrikaners #1, colors #2. And even if I give the top black Africans, like, let's cut off the top, 60% bottom. So they don't have to get dragged by that and then see where it lines up. It'll still line up good. And a lot of them colors have an Indian in them too. Remember that. It's not just black and white. It's not just that. That's how when they keep trying to, no, it's not an ethnic group. No, because that's that bullshit they're going to pull in Uganda with the Chinese and mongrel children. The Chinese and them mixed black women, Chinese and them white dudes, them Chinese dudes, they just dumped some seed in these black women and just bounced. That's the move they're going to pull in Uganda. Shout out to O'Shea. Her fans are not FBA. Yeah, of course they're not FBA, but she's still in the FBA market though. No, she came back to the U.S. What she thought was letting that die down and then come back and then she's going to act like nothing. They did address it, but she's still not being candid enough. She's still not being candid enough. And people, and this issue ain't with her personally, because she hasn't done nothing that's pissed me off since she got back. It's really her fans playing this. You're not helping her doing this. You're not. This is negative publicity, what you all are doing. You are not helping her. You are not going to bully black Americans into listening to her music. That is fucking retarded. You all are going to basically put her in a situation Doechii is in. What do you talk about? Stay lost. I don't know. Like, dude, you better say something. These are problems we can't really fix. If we truly see change, we must change ourselves. Oh my God. Dude, if you're gonna participate in the conversation, but don't. I get what you're saying, but damn, colored. It is a buffer class, and what you see in South Africa is what it actually looks like when it's accepted. That's the importance that I want Black Americans to understand. When you accept that shit, that's what it looks like and sounds like. Oh, it's not. We're another ethnic group. So where are the coloreds going after the white people? Where are the colored politicians? Anyway. They are, though. No other black people in the world are compatible to Black American compatible. Exactly, 90% of the population. I mean, yeah, man. And maybe that's the water they're swimming in, so that's what they know. I don't want to hear their apartheid is 30. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. Mr. Diplomat Swag says, we got to keep it a buck. FBA Keisha don't like Tyla because she's dripping light-skinned sex appeal. Let me tell you something. I understand why somebody would say that. I do. And I definitely understand where you're coming from. That's actually not the reason, though. From every video that I have seen from Black American women, they actually don't really That was true for Cooking with Kaya. It would be more intense if that's what it was. The intensity of it would be a lot bigger than that. I know why you think that, and I definitely, but that's not really what it is. Like, if you actually listen to what these people are saying, like black women, even the ones that they really don't like Tyla, they always focus on the things that's happening with the conversation. It comes off different. If they don't like you because it's much more intense. Especially with the kind of promotion Tyla's had, it'd be a lot more intense. And by the way, one thing I think is really stupid is Tyla doesn't do collabs with other artists in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense why you don't do that. I mean, I think she did one song, but yeah. He said, look up Tyla's sister. She couldn't deny black if she wanted to. And it wasn't that she was denying it. She was trying to walk up that line of like, she wasn't saying a word in a question. There's no reason you wouldn't say it. And again, I already know what it is. In their mind, it's not just about this situation. It's kind of about the thing where you're looking at a market as something to be rated. Not as something to identify with. This is just one more knock that you're just going around because you just think you're the shit like that. And I mean, Tyla is not, there's nothing like particularly unique about Tyla. She's just another young bitch, another young bitch that can put some songs together. There's other women that's done that. That's not like, oh my God, it's Tyla. Oh my God. No, like, oh my God. Like, the social market in America, this is the market. It's only a couple of markets that can even begin to compare. I mean, South Korea had to copy our shit, but they put together one. Japan has a voracious market. It's not a lot of markets as sophisticated as ours. The English market used to be something. So when you're coming in here and you're like, oh man, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. I mean, shit, Wemby's had to deal with the same. As good and talented as Wemby is. Wemby coming with that negative sportsmanship bullshit. That negative sportsmanship bullshit. That's all it took. So it's not like she's being held to this standard nobody else is being held to. That's not true. Not saying y'all saying that, but that's actually not true. He said, no, Ed, I 100% disagree. Black women are afraid of every other black woman on the planet. That's not true. That's not true. And this is when we start to buy into the rhetoric. This is where we start to buy too much into the rhetoric a little bit. I understand the thing with Passport Bros, but understand we're not really talking, in this context, we're not talking about sexual mates. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about music. This isn't, okay, the topic of the day is black men leaving to get other black women. We're talking about music. And the problem is, Zulu, you tend to bring in a lot of, you're bringing things into it that doesn't apply. We're not, because if that was true, they wouldn't like LMA. They didn't like Rihanna at first, but they still wouldn't like Rihanna if that was true. Because Rihanna is clearly Caribbean. They wouldn't like Shenseea if that was true. LMA is out of the UK. There's others that they wouldn't like if that was true. Like in the music, we're not talking about, okay, you're talking about black men going and getting a Tyla. That's not what they're bringing into what's being presented. That's not the argument. That hasn't been the argument. That hasn't been the argument. The argument is Tyla wants to make music with black people, but act like she's not black. She's winning awards. She's not black, but she's winning, but being put in black categories. They had that conversation with Doja Cat, but the difference is Doja actually she's homegrown from the situation, but she's had to deal with that scrutiny. As this is, you may be right when it comes to men, the mates, but that's not what we're talking about, because nobody's brought that up. They're not implying it, and they're not bringing that up. This is about, they didn't like what happened with Tyla and Haley Bailey. That was before the DDG blow up too, by the way. It is the way she comes off. And it does, and here's the problem too. It doesn't matter. Because here's the thing. If I sing you, let's say I give you a market and I have you, I say you need to send something, sell something. You're one of my salespeople and you're a good salesperson. I send you to a white area and I have my reasons for sending you that area because I want money from them. All that, unless you're talking about your safety, all that bullshit you bring into it, I'm just interpreting it as you don't want to do the job or you can't do the job. All that bullshit you bring into it about race and all of that, you need to sell this thing in this market because I know it's a profitable market. Not know all this other shit that comes along with that shit that you bring into it. That's what you're doing with this situation. Because I've listened to quite a few black women. And it's not, no, this you're bringing passport bro shit into music. Like, oh, they don't like her music because she's too feminine. She's too this. Guess what? It doesn't fucking matter because you can't access the market unless you convince them. It's like somebody saying, well, I didn't. It's Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris got her ass whooped in the election because she wanted to run it her way. So really, she didn't want to win. So it's like, why are you here? Same thing with Kamala. Why didn't you just... Because she talked about she want to run again. Why the fuck did you just not let somebody else have it? Why didn't you just let it be a convention? And then if Trump got in and he got in there, you knew you couldn't win because you knew you was going to win. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Cool. So you don't want to win then, which is why she lost all of her shit. It doesn't matter. Even if I say you're right, it doesn't matter because there's no route. White people aren't fucking with her. White people are not fucking with her. And black men are not going to push her over the top because if black men even tried to do that, she's going to get the cooking with Kaya treatment. And we know women drive the music more than men as far as what actually sustains it to get to the money. So even if I say you're right, it doesn't matter. There's only one way through. If you're coming through here, otherwise deal with the other markets. Deal with the East, the Eastern Hemisphere. Because the fucking Latins ain't gonna give a fuck about no Tyla either. For different reasons. You want to hear a voice, y'all want to, and this is not, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not fair. Well, first of all, you get judged. You know what? This is not fair. This is not fair to compare Tyla to this. You want to know what a song that will move you sounds like? Go type up the song that Selena did. Y'all know Selena, the chick that unfortunately got shot and died, Jennifer Lopez. She died like, I think, a year after Tupac, like in 96, I believe, maybe 94, 96. Anyway, she did, her first English song was released after she died. It's kind of like a tribute. Go listen to that song. Go listen to that song. Go listen to that song. That's a chick that would have been on Whitney Houston's level. Mariah's level if she would have actually got it, just one album out. Like as far as English. Go listen to that. That is something that if you don't know the person, you'll be moved. Tyla don't got that. Tyla is a pop star that's she's good. I'm not gonna act like she's not good. But being good is not always, and there's a political side to this too. And I'm not saying like I'm rooting against her, but what I am saying is this bullshit where people try to bring everything into the music, it doesn't matter. Because if you, then you don't, because all I'm hearing is you don't want to deal with the American market then. That's all I'm dealing with. Rihanna had more of a bigger white audience than black audience. So Rihanna had that room. She didn't need black women because they already had a white audience because of the market at the time. Tyla does not have that. And that's what people are not understanding. So it's kind of like, well, I want to be right. So, they just jealous. I don't agree. That's not the issue. Because honestly, a lot of them do want to like Tyla. It's actually not the same thing. Because if it was, you would be hearing a lot more about this than you are. Because they would be a lot more intense about it. A lot of them actually don't have a lot of animosity towards Tyla, but they can't let the colorism shit go. They can't. They're not gonna accept somebody, and you ain't seen not one artist that act like they not black, but they gonna just play and you're not seeing that. And so it doesn't matter. You see, He said, a festive wig they got. Yeah, man, for real. Festive ass wigs, man. Fucking Davy Crockett wig. Yes, that's true. I met a couple of FBA who vacation in Antigua. They were cool as hell, which is why I don't get why FBA versus Caribbean move on with African. It makes sense. No, I mean Caribbeans have this thing where they think they better than black people, black Americans too. They got that British subject bullshit going on. You hear it. You hear it come out in Nicki Minaj sometimes. I don't like her vibe. Yeah, a lot of them don't like her vibe. And Tyla does give off a kind of mean girl. I think I'm better. Like, you could definitely assume she plays the racial hierarchy bullshit. And then when I found out she got Indian in her, I'm like, oh, because that's what they about. So it's like you playing in our face. And all of the other stuff about her femininity, all that, yes, I'm not gonna say I see it, but at the end of the day, a bit, yes, it's a black women have a femininity problem in America, but that's not the issue they have with her, because it's like, if y'all have heard Love Island or heard anything with that, you see how they react to somebody that they see as a threat. They're very much more vicious than what they are with her. She got a little ass, but a lot of that is, but like, let's keep it all like real. If she had some clothes on, you wouldn't see it like that. Tyla has maybe above A cup titty, and she doesn't have an ass. She by all effects is exactly, which is why they gotta show all that skin to cover that shit up, so you don't pay attention to that. Because what you're seeing is you're literally seeing her naked body. And she got a face. Which is also something that really doesn't always translate well in this market. She effectively has a boy body. I mean, I don't know why they think they're better, as if you know, the islands are showing in. I put up what we did in Liberia above any island any day. Exactly. She just got a face. AI can fix that. Again, I'm not talking about looks. I'm just talking about how they land with the music. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the politics of the music. I'm not talking about what I fuck. Because you got to remember, man, women drive the music more than men. And so a lot of that doesn't enter into it. Which is why a lot of these women always like to act like they're feminists. Tyla's definitely Rihanna Jr. She needs a Chris Brown feature. I mean, you know, honestly, Rihanna was better. Because I've seen her morph her music and all of that. Rihanna can dance better. And Rihanna's not known for being able to dance. Rihanna was better. That's the play that they're running. And that's a play that you can run. But, I mean, Rihanna, the way Rihanna was handled with the black community was a lot better. Even when black women were actually antagonistic towards Rihanna at first. People forget that. Black women warmed up to Rihanna once Fenty came out. Because they needed somebody to go after the Kardashians. And they played into that, and that worked very well. That's when you saw this universal embrace of Rihanna. Before then, Rihanna was that bitch that's cheating with Jay-Z on Beyonce. That's who Rihanna was. And by the way, Beyonce is a perfect example of this idea of they're jealous, like that's being bullshit. Yeah, this is a fumble. They're fumbling the bag, and it's kind of annoying to see that. He said, "Isn't Bad Bunny?" I don't know. I don't know. She got the song Water. She's got Water. She's got Puts to Start. She's got Cry. She's got about 5 good songs as far as hits. Push to Start is good. Like, she's got some good songs. I mean, you should listen to some of them. They're good. I'm not gonna act like they're not. I mean, I could definitely see her collabing with certain people. I definitely could see that. You know, it's actually kind of crazy. Like, I could see her doing that. I could see her in the Black Panther as far as soundtrack. There's actually opportunities that she can fit in, but you're not gonna be playing in our face like we just supposed to like you because bitch you're you. They gotta fix that. Black people, Americans in general tend to like underdogs. We tend to like people that are coming up to see the come up. We don't like that Mary Sue, I'm already here. Here's me. That's what motherfuckers didn't like about Lizzo. Nah, she likes black. She likes. I think she likes African men. She likes black men. She likes dark skinned men with dreads. So she ain't got to worry about that. Truth be told, if she gets caught out with a white man, truth be told, honestly, black women might like her. Actually. I mean, what do you talk about with chattel slavery? No, no. Okay, so here's the problem with you're saying we didn't experience chattel slavery. You got chattel slavery, then you got Reconstruction, then you got Jim Crow, which Jim Crow is in living memory. Like my mother was born in 1961. Jim Crow really kind of low key ended in 68, really, or 64. You know, so we have Jim Crow. Then you have all these things are connected. Then you and during Jim Crow, all of our cities and towns were burned, most of them. Then you have the heroin in the 70s that led into the crack era, and then mass incarceration. It's all connected. The alpha generation will be one of the first generations that probably wouldn't be afflicted by the crack era. You're finally starting to see that, like, in that generation, not this like specter of that. So when people talk about, oh, chattel slavery is so long, yeah, nah, it's a connected chain. When you understand history, it's a connected chain. It'd be different. It is a one chattel slave. It'd be different if you saying chattel slavery and then there was no Jim Crow. Jim Crow affects us a lot more than chattel slavery. And that was basically state-sanctioned terrorism. The white edition. You see this stuff in stuff today. Like if you try to sell a house and then they try to undercut you on the price in the house because they know you're black, that's today. So it's not about getting hyper emotional. I'm not so much about being emotional. I'm about knowing what the facts are. You know, that's why when people talk about we was kings a long time ago, I'm talking about what happened now. Even Liberia. A lot of people don't understand CIA fucked up Liberia. All the stuff is connected, man. Decisions are connected even if you don't have an emotional connection to them. And you go ask Jews about the Holocaust and talk about that happened a long time ago. Because we about 80 years, we about 75 years removed from that. That's why I'm a big advocate of telling our story. I don't, I mean, it doesn't matter because they're not. The reality is these groups, what all these groups have in common is they have their own country, and their country is a living representative of who they are. I mean, Indians too. So they you know, at the end of the day, you know, I love how people say I'm another clown. Okay, well, dismantle my arguments then. I love how I mean, like, you come in here saying I'm another clown. That don't mean nothing. I guess that's your only intellectual capacity, huh? Man, them white people destroyed Paris. Fuck that shit. Africans and Arabs. Like, I get what you're saying, but if France didn't have a francophone countries, they would have been fell off. So they could miss me with that shit. Maybe the black genes are stronger because the average Keisha will maintain frame until she faces the consequence. Afro beats at its best be like reggae. Yeah. No, they got Denzel. I think it's gonna happen after the Avengers thing, movie. So We'll see. I'm glad they're giving it third one and closing it out. Then maybe we could get back on Shang-Chi. From our perspective, it's the same shit. I mean, I know I'm being an asshole when I say that, but it's the same shit from a musical perspective. Yeah, I mean, I like that one song with Burner Boy from the Brad Pitt racing movie. But Burner Boy is way too arrogant. I get it, man. You got money compared to Africans, man, but dude, he way too arrogant, man. My great grandfather, my mother came up in America from St. Thomas. I apologize once again for all the out of pocket islands that you are right. They are bugging. Okay, put her name in there, Gap Tooth Gaines. I don't know who the hell that is. Put her name in. I'm curious. Yeah, I know people from St. Thomas, you know. I mean, I know LMA is like a slow burn with her, but LMA's got a lot of good songs. Because when I first heard her, I was like, this bitch sound kind of like Beyonce. But like if Beyonce stayed like the old Beyonce back in the R&B days in the 90s. And then when I saw her, I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, the overhyping of Brazil is a major reason why I'm dragging my feet on visiting. You say they're more fair with light skin and biracials, but I haven't seen it from the Brazilians. I mean, because I've met with a couple of Brazilians, but you got no. I'm talking about. I don't know, man. I would go down there just to see, because that's the one thing I don't know is how they from perspective, but you know how it is. I mean, man, there's a country of 200 million people. So I mean, look at how these motherfuckers was act like. You would get a kick out of how these women were acting with Sincere, which is one of the dudes on that Love Island. He's a mixed. Boy, I tell you, man. Anyway, women aren't getting any money from me. Facts, it's true. SKA predates reggae. I mean, aren't Asians already doing that in Africa? Yeah, they are. Hey, Ed, will you get on? I mean, look, man. He's doing well. I would have to have my channel more reorganized and all of that. Him getting BGS is great. I mean, obviously I would get on a panel, but you know, most of these tragic mulattoes are a problem. Most are hella confused. Ed's been going for an hour. I just got the notification. Yep. Tyla is very, very vanilla, very standard, like BGS would say in Industry 8, least makeup, stagecraft. Yeah. I mean, I know Normani just came out with another song, but it's just like the thing is, this music is political. And it's not even from I want to see her fail. I'm glad she's failing. That's how they interpret it because they're so sensitive. I'm actually like, it's kind of like the way I talk about Tyla and her team. It's kind of like how DJ Academics talk about Brittany Renner. I mean, it's kind of like, yo, I'm being very frank because you need to understand the urgency of the shit you're doing. And she likes to act like she want to play that I don't understand shit. And it's like, I don't think you understand these type of females you dealing with. You know, honestly, I think it's already unrecoverable, really. You know, and she trying to come back all humble to like, I understand now. No, you need it ain't need to be no one thing. You need to have a reality check. And your team is hurting you. Your team is really hurting you because people are asking you not to be colored, but you need to stop. But that word does need to stop being used here because 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 my thing is, why is there only one? Okay, since y'all want to play this game about it's a separate ethnic group, is there no other ethnic groups in South Africa based in skin tone like that? For real. Like, what is the history of this ethnic group? From what I understand, this ethnic group doesn't predate apartheid. So it's really not an ethnic group. It's really a social class. And y'all are just trying to remix it into an ethnic group because you playing in our face. And y'all are actually doing the shit that they be assuming black Americans in general would do. But we have a specific type of affront to that shit. Because see, to y'all, it's just tribalism. We don't like that shit here. And it's not that we are not never tribalistic. Obviously, we have our own cities, our own states and stuff like that. But like that shit, it's not gonna fly. I saw that, and that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because the Afro Latinos don't got money, and all the other Latinos see is and shout out to Shakira for doing that. Shout out to Shakira because she's done stuff with black people. I give her credit for that, but it's not gonna work. They're doing it. I just saw a concert with Tyla coming in. Yeah, I saw that. I legit cried listening to Selena. Every Texan loves her. Exactly, man. And I'm gonna tell you, Gap Tooth, I didn't cry, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. I did sit for a second. I did sit for about 2 minutes. I was driving and then I was listening. You know how they have it's not really oldies, but it's like oldies for pop. And you know, I'm getting in the age where like the quote unquote oldies are like when I was growing up. That's crazy. But so like stuff, you know, right? So they sat there. I didn't know who the fuck that was because I never heard it. I didn't know it was Selena. And then I basically did on my phone where I could do, you know, search song. You know how if you press the microphone and be like blah 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 if you're trying to talk to the phone. And I got a button that says search song. It'll listen to the song, and then pull up. I was like, oh, that's her. And then I found out this was like her only really English song. Her only English song. And I was like, what? I was like, this would be a nuclear level threat. Cause I've seen clips of her where she was covering a couple of, you know, R&B songs. I forget what it was and saying, yeah, she would be in the Mount Rushmore because you got Whitney, Mariah. Obviously, you got old folks like Anita Baker, Diana Ross, all that. I'm not hating on them. But like from the 90s up, you got Whitney, Mariah. I think Selena would have been there. Celine Dion and Selena would have been there. Those would have been the Mount Rushmore. Those are because people be hating on Celine Dion. But those would have been the Mount Rushmore. And if you wanted to do like a second tier, I would say you could add Christina Aguilera in there too. The thing about Christina Aguilera though is she doesn't have as many iconic songs as the other ones have. Celine Dion, because obviously Celine has Titanic, but she has other ones too. And obviously there's more great singers in that. But people say, well, what about Brandon? Nah, I'm talking about like truly powerful voices. Like I remember it was this one dude that does, I forget what's that. They were like, oh, you know, they do that opera music. It was the dude that does opera music, Italian, and he was like talking shit about pop stars, saying pop stars can't really sing. And then Whitney basically showed that wasn't true. But even Whitney said, yeah, like I'm like the best of the best, you know? So you're you're like 98% right from her perspective, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could, because I've listened to what you call it, Spanish music, so I can listen to that. But yeah, man, like that's what, and that's not fair to compare Tyla to that, because like it's like that wouldn't even be fair to compare JoJo to that, and JoJo's voice is way more powerful. But that gives you, this is what compelling is. So if this is like 10, okay, Tyla's music is like 6. And obviously she's better than a lot of other people, but like for real, like, and so it doesn't, it doesn't move it on its own. It's not like, okay, I need to find out who that is, and then it's like, wow, no. So her stuff has to be more political. And again, I'm not saying she's not good, but I'm not saying that. I'm not. But the thing is, they approach it. Another example is Taylor Swift. You have Taylor Swift once she did Cruel Summer, and then you have more country Taylor Swift, which the white women call peak Taylor. Because Taylor Swift essentially has two fans. She has the old school fans who was there from the beginning, then she has more of the younger fans. She has, which would be like some people's fans, like nieces and nephews, older, right? And she was more country, wrote her own songs, that shit. But when she actually switched from that, there was a transition point. It wasn't, so she had that old Taylor for people to be like, look, and then she had the new stuff. Tyla is coming out in that secondary phase. Like she's already there. And then it's like the marketing was basically this person. They did the same thing with Doechii, and people couldn't stand Doechii because it's too corporate. It's too bodied. Yeah, that is that. Yeah, that is. Yeah, like honestly, man, like that is she's probably historically that's up there with Pun. How good Pun was, but yo, that was like a huge blow to the Hispanic. That was as bad as if you took Whitney out when Whitney, like right after she got out of church. That's bad. That she literally would probably be the all-time greatest Latin singer to probably ever live. And that's saying a lot as far as female singer, because I'm not gonna shit like Mark Anthony, all that, especially when you look at the stuff she could have did with like Mark Anthony, Enrique Iglesias, obviously, what's his name? Ricky Martin was gay, but like in that time, yo, that dude, that Latin dude, oh man. You talk about the type of people she probably would have inspired to, and obviously, you got Ariana Grande. I'm not gonna. I don't even know if she's Latin. I think Ariana Grande is Italian, actually. They have, and I know Christina Aguilera is like Hispanic too. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'd be like, yeah, you dying in there. Every time she go up for parole, I would just play her song and be like, this is what you took from us. No, you dying in jail. You doing all them years. The way you did, you doing all them years. That was a crime against humanity. That, or at least against the Latin community. Dead ass. And then from a black person's perspective, she actually liked R&B music. She actually liked R&B music. This is going to be kind of disrespectful, but I'm still going to say it anyway. I would definitely like, how I won't say this. I can see why somebody would think this is disrespectful, but whatever. But we did this with the Tupac music, not with AI. I would definitely, if AI could mimic her vocal patterns, yeah, obviously pay her family and her estate, rehash her music. But like, if AI could mimic her vocal patterns, like for real, oh man. Exactly. And you playing in our face. I mean, it's not like, and so that's the tell. That's the tell. He said, yeah, I mean, honestly, Selena should have her own holiday. Dead ass. It's enough Hispanics. She should literally have her own holiday. I don't know if it'd be a federal holiday, but she should definitely have her own holiday. She definitely should. She definitely should. Because all people are, they don't fuck with Hispanic culture. I'm going to tell you, people would have fucked with her shit. Well, I mean, what would you talk? Well, what would you say bad about her? Because even when not even just the song, because I knew about who she was, this is crazy, but I knew about who she was. I've seen clips of her singing, and that's the first time I actually saw her sing too. But that was just her regular singing. And I forget. I'll share the clip if I can find it. Where she was singing some other like it was an R&B song, like a black dude song and stuff. Cause she just won, yeah. And so but yeah. Exactly. And people don't think about it that way. People think about that was a long time ago, and that's the trick bag that people put into you. Because white people want you. Because see, notice how white people don't forget they shit. They still talk about 9/11. Remember, 9/11 was 25 years ago. They never forget their shit. Make no they shit. They still talk about the Civil War. They never forget their shit. No, I'm not saying you have. This wasn't really about going what you're saying, but and honestly, a lot of people are not quote unquote passionate for the right things, and they direct that passion in the wrong way. So I get what you're saying, but I just wanted to add that Marvel needs to introduce Alpha Flight, and I don't know about all that. How much? Shout out to X-Men '97 though. The last two episodes have been all right. I like the Polaris thing, but last two episodes seem like they're filler episodes. How much is a G is Shang-Chi guy in Marvel Universe because he's a popular card and even he's pretty good. The movie was good though. What they did, and Rail says still play booed up. I mean, the thing about like this talk, like first of all, anybody can get their ass whooped. Like it ain't enough money for you not to get your ass whooped. And a lot of these groups, they get protected from that. And so it's actually kind of funny when they do that. But nah, man, it's kind of like because the more money you got, it's like, what are you doing? Hell, fuck Nigeria. What are you doing for your own tribe? But they come over here and they trying to be like an invasive species and thinking and get mad when somebody come at them. This is why you ain't never heard none of these people talk about white supremacy. All of a sudden, when they talk about us, they want to talk about it's white supremacy. Y'all don't know what the fuck white supremacy is. To you, white supremacy is complaining, which is why when they start complaining, that's what they say. Y'all are mimicking white supremacy. Oh, so you do know what white supremacy is. So why don't you talk to white people about white supremacy? Okay, thank you, Got Two Gangs. Her Instagram is Mary Ann Alexander. But I mean, yeah, Tyler was that was back in the day. I mean, it is. And that's how black women interpret it. And it doesn't matter if it's correct or not correct. Your first response is there's one thing, okay, there's a difference between saying I'm gonna educate you, because this is what got Godfrey in trouble. Remember that. Godfrey has recently got in trouble because, Godfrey's on this I know more black history than you, which he don't, than a lot of people. He may know more than the average person, but people that's actually paying attention to this, like at a real level, he doesn't. And so therefore, I'm gonna educate you on this or who the real enemy is. It's like, dude, that's running game. You're running game right now. You're running game right now, and like you're trying to run game. This is an attempt to run game. That's an arrogant way of doing this. I'm gonna educate. There's a difference between trying to create understanding. Like what I do is I try to connect. I try to create bridges between what you think and what I think. I not if your shit is bullshit, it's bullshit. If I understand where you're coming from, I'm gonna acknowledge that. Just like what Dr. Dizzle said about people being emotional. He was responding to Smitty, but talking about people being emotional. I didn't say, "Oh, you full of shit." No, I bridge the gap between. I get the emotional part, but just understand this can be where it comes from. But at the same saying all of the 5 crimes of humanity. But at the end of the day, there's better ways to direct that. Zulu was talking in the Discord about he ain't gonna see Black Panther. I respect his right to not see it, but Denzel's gonna be in it, and I gave my perspective. I created that bridge. Now, if you don't want to walk that bridge, I get it, because I didn't see Black Panther 2 until later. It was 2 years before I saw Black Panther 2. And Black Panther 2 was good. Was pretty good. It's not 1, but 1 is iconic, man. 1 is iconic. Just like none of the Star Wars series was episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I think, 2 was bad. I mean, people, look, man, I'm going to keep it real. I actually think even Revenge of the Sith had great moments. It's not a bad movie, but I still think 1 is like, I still think if you give all 3, Empire Strikes Back, I think is the best Star Wars movie. I would say I would say then Return. Then I would actually say Phantom Menace. Then I would actually say the first one ever. Then I would say Rogue One. And then the rest of them, you can keep them. But that's me. It's a bridge. Now, people don't want to walk it. They don't want to walk it, but I said my piece. Versus, I'm going to educate you like you're dumb, so I'm going to educate you. That's how black women talk to us. And see, black women get mad when people try to talk to them and say, that's exactly how black women talk to us. I'm going to educate you. Just like matriarchal, I'm a mommy you because you don't know shit when you know more than what the fuck they talking about. Because it's also a way of ignoring what the fuck you're saying. Most millennials haven't experienced, most Xers haven't experienced anything as brutal. Yeah, but what does that actually mean? What does that mean? Like when you say that, what does that mean? We haven't experienced anything as brutal. Okay, what does that mean? Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of these white people don't want us to be here, period. They don't want us to exist. So what does that mean? Because white people have definitely benefited. Like, dude, you got Arabs, you got Sunni and Shia that's had a blood feud for 2,000 years. You got people that go back to 2,000 years with they shit. Israel and all that. White people haven't experienced anything like that. That still don't stop them from talking about the Jews. You got white people talking about black people like black people are a mortal threat to them because of what they did. So what does that mean when you say that? Now, I'm not saying people should go balls to the walls, crash out emotional, because a lot of the people don't know enough of the history to even crash out like that. I actually know the history. Dude, when I'm driving around, because I drive a lot. When I'm driving around, I know the history. And I've told people the history. When I'm driving up 147, in order to go to, like, going from the airport to Durham to go to Duke, when I'm passing the airport, I know the history of that road. I know that road split a black community. I know the history of Research Triangle Park splitting that road and then the black people being on the right side. I know the history of North Carolina Mutual Bank. I know the history of Mechanic and Farmers Bank. I know the history of a neighborhood called Hope Valley. I actually see it. Just like how, remember I told you the 5 ways of investing in commercial real estate is office space, retail space, apartments, storage facilities, and trailer parks. When you drive, most of the stuff you see is one of those things if it's not going to be residential. So I actually uniquely see it as I'm moving around. I know the history. I know Wilmington got burned down in 1896. I know North Carolina, the News and Observer in North Carolina, that family was one of the main ones to feed the flames of that happening. I know Biggie used to, like, literally, there's a road it's a road that's not far from me called Tryon Road. Biggie used to live there on that road, like in the like 80s. It's a picture of him with that. I uniquely know. I know that the town I grew up in was 50%. The town that I grew up in out here, Holly Springs, was 50% black. Now it's 93% white. I've literally seen it. I know that a lot of the inner belt line in Raleigh used to be black. The whole thing to be black. I uniquely know it, and I don't crash out like that. So I get where you're coming from, because most of them don't know enough of the history to even be that mad, to be honest with you. And again, there's a lot of stuff we do, like not having life insurance, like selling houses and probate. I just dealt with a person today. That his wife, and I saw this for myself. I may upload the video. His wife has 400 acres. 400 acres in land in Wake County. In Raleigh. No, in Wake Forest. Each one of those acres is probably worth $60,000. Really 77, but I'm going to say 60. I think it's like 24. Hold on. Yeah, $24 million. So I uniquely know the history, and I don't crash out like that. So I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. And I don't know everything. I didn't know how much we were involved in getting Liberia set up. I learned that recently. Like, that was a while ago I learned it. But as far as the information, there's like this. So I get what you're saying. But the reality is, if that shit would have happened to these white people, they would be fighting World War III and World War IV. They would never let that go. They would never let that go. So us having experienced stuff brutal, that's not a requirement. The reality is we're going through things today. The racism never stopped. It just went more behind the scenes. We're going through that today. And so when you like, oh man, we ain't experienced it, what happens is that sounds a lot like, you know, what white people be trying to say, where they be trying to act like they never really truly corrected the shit. Remember, black men never really benefited from like, you know, DEI like that. They gave it to the women. Yeah. Oh yeah, I promise you, if that would have been a black person that killed her, oh, they would have based the foundation of their entire racism on that shit. You killed Selena, motherfucker. Oh, if that would have been a black person, oh my God, that would be the foundation of every nigga that ever come. You killed Selena, so you're a nigga. I'm gonna say it. I'll stop saying it if you bring back Selena. Nigga. Every time I hear that song, who just like nigga, you so good. Like they would have lost their mind. But the fact it was another Hispanic woman, they can't say shit. They gotta eat that. Oh man, you weren't alive, but see, I don't care. My mama was depressed, nigga. It depends where you're at. I mean, if you're in the eastern part of the state, absolutely. Wake County, obviously, Wake County is one of 100 counties. So Wake County, Charlotte's a little bit different, Greensboro a little bit different, but North Carolina is the South. So I don't know why people are I mean, there's sundown towns in North Carolina, but it's on the east. It's on the eastern part of the state. These motherfuckers, yeah, they still farm that 400 acres. It was crazy. I got the video. It's crazy. Yeah. Because when people always shit on Durham, Durham wasn't a black Wall Street. It was a black wall. It was a district, though. It's a very strong district. And they shit on Durham, just like how Charlotte used to be the Bank of the South. Richmond used to be the Black Bank of the South. A lot of people don't know that. But they shit on Durham. But the truth is, Durham used to be the center of the tobacco road and stuff. And like in the 70s, 80s, 60s, and black people got a lot of money out of that. When white people played games and shifted it, you know, that fucked it up. And they rotated the way the tobacco and stuff was done, which messed up the industry, which would fuck Durham up. And that's why Durham became a drug corridor, because Durham is 4 hours away from DC. Durham is 2 hours away from Richmond. Hence why I was mentioned in Biggie's thing, because Biggie lived here for a hot second. Used to live in Raleigh, North Carolina, because he used to move crack cocaine from Raleigh, North Carolina to Brooklyn. This is before he became famous. So when you hear Biggie rapping about selling crack and doing that, Raleigh was one of his area of operations. There's a road called Tryon Road. I live literally 3 miles away from that road. I won't tell you what direction, but I live 3 miles away from that road. That is, you all have seen me drive up this road. You all have seen me drive up this road many times. High Point is a furniture festival area. Greensboro is a High Point. High Point is the town to the west of Greensboro. It's literally the next town. High Point is known for furniture. They have a furniture festival twice a year where all these rich people, like globally, but in the United States, go to source the furniture manufacturers. They have a university there. It's a private university that a lot of rich white kids go to from the north. Greensboro is the third, soon to be fourth largest city, because Durham, the city of Durham, is the fourth largest city in North Carolina. Greensboro is the third largest city in North Carolina, but Durham only has 6,000 less people. So Durham, the city of Durham, is about to pass it. But Greensboro is home of North Carolina A&T, the largest HBCU we have in the country, not in North Carolina, in the country, as well as UNC Greensboro, which is heavily black. Greensboro is all right, but people, they tend to overhype Greensboro down here. And then obviously Frank Lucas, his family is famously from Greensboro. Frank Lucas is famously from Greensboro, North Carolina as well, from American Gangster. That's Greensboro. Greensboro is about an hour. I get Greensboro an hour and a half if I left right now. Yeah, Granville is where Creedmoor is. You take Creedmoor Road. My brother lives off of Creedmoor Road, not in Granville though. You go up Creedmoor Road for about 30 minutes, you're in Granville. Low key, if you want to buy a house for cheap and you ain't really trying to, you don't mind like driving into Raleigh, yeah. Man, fuck them. I'm proud of Tuskegee for doing that. Fuck them. Fuck them kids. Leave. Go somewhere else. Tired of that shit. Fuck them kids. And I'm happy with it. They stop letting them act like they can't pay that money. If you bitches gotta sell pussy to pay that tuition, then do it. But that fucking I got it next week. Yeah, unenroll they ass. Unenroll that ass. I agree. Unenroll that ass. No, I haven't been to Reno, Nevada. I mean, you got to remember, man. I grew up where I'm at, so I should know at least where the fuck I live at. So this is not, that impressive to me. Yeah, people don't know that. Everybody talking shit about Raleigh, North Carolina. So the history of New Yorkers coming down here has been a long history. I was in the 90s. Remember, I moved here in 1998. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised more Raleigh black folks don't really say that. Yeah. Yeah. Here. I gotta go somewhere anyway, real quick. So I'll keep it alive while I'm driving. But nah, I'll drive up the road. If you go look up Biggie early days, Trial Road, Raleigh. You'll see them. It ain't AI. Again, remember, history is the only thing I took AP in. So it's not history. Like, history is living memory, man. So, living memory. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So when they talk, what's a Raleigh? Yeah, man, drug corridor and did it. Yeah. If people thought I was just saying that, I was like, no, I'm not just saying that. That nigga actually lived here. In fact, Biggie got locked up. When Biggie talks about he got locked up in Raleigh. That's where he got locked up. He did 9 months. He did almost a year. That was before he got famous. So when you hear his raps, a lot of that is based on what he did in Raleigh. It's crazy as fuck, isn't it? That is crazy as fuck, ain't it? You be like, damn, what am I talking about? Yep. Dead ass. Dead fucking ass. But this was a different place. I mean, I got here in 1998, and this shit was like shit. But yeah. But my point is, yeah, one of the dumbest things is when these dudes used to try to wear bonnets to be in solidarity with these bitches. It's like, you dudes are fucking stupid. You as dumb as these hoes are. Yeah, it's not national now. It's like, it's national on social media. It's spreading on social media really strong. They be like, even black people got black fatigue. Press 1 if you can hear me. Okay, so you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. He said Charlotte remind me of Indianapolis from the 90s before any guys that got all fucked up. He said bonnet do-rag band reminds me of why I didn't go. I mean, yeah, because people be playing, man. I've dealt with some really smart HBCU people. So they not all like that, but again, these motherfuckers be playing. They be playing. I mean, you see what's going on with Brittany Renner, man. Brittany Renner losing her fucking mind because she's upset. You know, she fucked up. You know, O'Shea did a video. Jada Black did a video. Academics is absolutely right about her. I mean, she fucked up. It's like, you see her, you know, you saw her when she was like 22 years old. Bundle of Brittany. Now, you know, she's 34 and she looking all mad and angry. It's like, nobody cares. It's like, yo, you fucked up. You played around. Like, you wrote that book. And then you won. You actually got a young dude. But you talking about, it should, even till this day, asking for loyalty. Asking for loyalty isn't that big of a deal. It's not about loyalty, it's about control. And then Act was right. You got an NBA player, but you want loyalty. You're fucking dumb. You're fucking dumb. Like, straight up, if you're dealing with a dude this hit the jackpot, this got the money PJ has, the best you can do if you're smart is try to ask him to not get no side babies, is to try to control how much he fucks somebody else or try to negotiate that shit. But if you out here thinking, no, bitch, he's got enough money, no, you're dumb. Because you're replaceable, and you found that out. How easy he was. And see, I think the real big issue that really fucks with her is the fact that he's 7 years younger than him. Remember, he's still in his 20s. I think he's 27. He's 27 years old. She's 34 years old. And this is also showing you why it's problematic to get with older bitches like that. Because when they get older, now the insecurities start creeping in. And remember, the chick that he got with, is more closer to his age. Do you understand how goofy you gotta look to be talking about your baby father and all this other shit, and then it's like a nigga 27 years younger and you in your 30s? Bitch, you look stupid. That's what you get for preying on the motherfucker. I'm so glad the court, honestly, that's something the court should do. I'm telling you right now, you get with somebody south of 3 years younger than you, that shit is automatic. You getting the minimum. Just know that. Y'all get kids out of dudes younger than you, that shit is automatic. Unless you a white bitch dealing with yeah, you got it. Cause you act like you can't drive. Unless you a white bitch dealing with like a black dude, you know they always gonna let them have it. But you know, you fuck. No, fuck that. Cause we know she was. And she won. This is the beautifully ironic thing. She won. She ran the play right. This is what this bitch did. She did what Jerry Judy did. She caught the ball. He caught the ball, and he was about to score a touchdown, and he decided to do that high step shit, and then the ball popped out. Nobody hit it out his hands. It popped out his hands. He fumbled it. That's what she did. Her ego couldn't handle him having a side bitch. Bitch, who is you? It's not about loyalty. Loyalty is you having the number one position. Who is you? Who is you? Like, for real. PJ Washington is getting today NBA money. You mean to tell me your ego, you finessed yourself. She caught the ball. She caught a Hail Mary. She did it. It's not like she ran the play right. I don't agree with it, but she ran it right. She scouted a nigga in high school. Fuck you. You was scoping that nigga out in high school as a senior. Because remember, these dudes get in the NBA, they be like All-Americans. Let me check. Yeah, press 2 if you can hear me. Yes, PJ was an All-American. So you 2 if you can hear me. Yes, PJ was an All-American. So you're not going to act like you didn't scout him because he had a high profile. And then you watched him probably year 1, and then you got with him. I remember when she was sitting in the stands cheering him on. She did that after her book. Bitch, don't act like you didn't plan that. Don't act like you just had a chance encounter. You scoped that. You did some fucking Dexter's Laboratory, Peaky in the Brain shit. And you completed the play. Well done. But and the beautiful thing is you, at the last second, you fumbled the ball because your ego couldn't accept him getting some other pussy. That was also your insecurity too. And so you left. And I don't know who the fuck you thought you was to think with the book and a baby you was what you thought? You was gonna get another NBA player? You thought you was gonna get you another NBA player? You thought you were gonna get you an NFL player? I'm like, yo, Brittany Renner is attractive, but she ain't that bitch. You ain't that. These bitches be thinking that like they're like NBA All-American. Y'all are not All-American NBA. Fine, y'all are not All-American. If there's only 24 bitches in a McDonald's All-American, you're an All-American. Bitch, you not that fine. Brittany Renner isn't even Brittany Renner isn't even prom queen attractive. Brittany Renner is not even runner-up. And I'm talking about amongst black women. If Brittany Renner won the prom in your school had no hoes. And I'm not saying she's ugly, but Brittany Renner ain't no Vanessa Williams. Brittany Renner ain't even fucking Kelly Rowland. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Brittany Renner looked like a tan white girl mixed with an ass. That's what. And I'm not saying she ain't cute. I also think that pussy ain't hitting on shit because too many niggas get tired of it. And so you found the right one that probably saw you when he was young and he tried it out. You probably fucked him like your life depended on it and got that nut out of him. You probably played the role very well. You know, because they can play a role for a good 90 days or a year if they got to, because you knew that book had fucked you up. Remember, she did this after the book. Remember that. So she was already cooked, and she ran this play. This was a Hail Mary play. She completed, but her ego, oh my God, he's cheating on me, I'm leaving. That was we know that was the dumbest thing you could have ever did. and the way you went about it, because even if that relationship would have ran its course, PJ probably would have hooked you up just off of being cooperative. But no, you want to be mad and bitter. Nobody gives a fuck about you being bitter. Brittany, you're mixed, you're light-skinned, phenotypically you don't look black. You look like one of these soccer white bitches. Nobody gives a fuck. And then you pulling this play, the women can't even, because the truth is, dude went and got, I think the chick is black he got married to. So they can't even be so mad at him. Kevin Gates don't give a fuck one way or the other what these bitches think. He don't care. And he's a weirdo anyway. Act like I don't even date 30. And he was for real. I don't like Act, but Act was keeping it real with her. Because Act probably saw potential in her as far as doing podcasts. I'm telling you, a Brittany Renner Act podcast probably would be relatively entertaining. But see, Brittany Renner has this thing where she gotta be right, and she hides behind feminism and all this other goofy shit. Not understanding, now you not aging well, because it's like Brittany's looks have never been like, Brittany's looks have never been like crazy like that. It hasn't. Like, you was always gonna, like, honestly, you was always gonna have a cutoff point. And so she mad and she don't know what to do. Her mom ain't got no fucking game because her mom is white trash. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. But for real. So you ain't really got nobody to pull a game from, which is all why you, like, Brittany Renner is a perfect example of how to fumble some shit. How to fumble a win. And by the way, she's biracial, so it's not like, oh, she's a black chick, of course. No. She fumbled it. She fumbled that shit. And it's sad. I hate seeing that. She fumbled. Well, not that she didn't get her money, but she fumbled that relationship. She fumbled that shit. And she ain't got nobody to blame but herself. That Kevin Gates shit was never gonna work. That was never gonna work. Kevin Gates got with you because he wanted to see what the pussy was on, and it was a good, it was a good, like, social media thing. It ain't like Kevin Gates need that because he's legit famous. That shit was never gonna work. Yeah, it's sad. Yep, it's sad. And she's getting mad. And the truth is, all that bitterness and anger, all that does is speed it up. I mean, honestly, if somebody were to ask me, how should she rebrand? I'm going to tell you right now, if I was like deviant like that, I'd say, yo, you know what you need to do, Brittany? I wouldn't say go do OnlyFans, because once you do that, you absolutely cook. What I would say to do, this is exactly what I say to do. I would say you need to lean in on Afrocentrism. Go ahead and get them pills and potions and lotions. Go ahead, get your body right. Come back as one of them pills and potion type bitches. And start talking about sensuality and start kissing black men's ass when it comes to, sexual healing and all that shit. To me, that's the only way. That's the only way. I'm telling you. Like, you do, because you do that when you being light skinned, get that baby oil, do yoga. That's your play. That's the only play you can run. Go ahead. That your hair, make it so you got bangs, so you're covering up the forehead a little bit, so you got a different look. I know, I'm not saying, look, man, I'm only saying rebrand because I heard a bitch say that on TikTok. So I'm saying if we were gonna have it, I would, if I was to take the job and it's like, this is why you need to do it. And I would say too, take a year off. I would say take a year off. Don't, because you're doing stuff too back to back. Take a year off, chill. And as far as chill, because truth be told, Brittany's going back to Mississippi. She already had a house. So I'm telling, dude, I could cook it up in AI. I'm telling you, I could cook it up in AI. Go ahead, make sure you got like little abs. Go to MILF route. Go to young MILF route. Lower your voice. Stop with all that voice. Stop with all that static electricity, white girl, mulatto craziness bullshit, cause that shit ain't cute at your age. That shit is not cute. That shit is not cute. At her age, that shit is not cute. That shit is not cute at her age. That's not cute at 34. That I'm crazy, half-ass zany. That I'm spazzing out. That's not cute at 34. That's not cute as a mom. That's not cute. You need to have a lot more subdued, sexually submissive. That's it, like, oh, I'm not exactly. You're not. You need to let that feminist bullshit go. Like for real. Lower your voice. You know, be humble. Everything that she ain't gonna want to do, because this don't sound nothing like her, and that's why it just might work. That's what you do. And don't do an OnlyFans. Don't do an OnlyFans, because that's too on the nose. Do a Patreon, and then be more podcast like, and then you filter videos in there, and then you do a Telegram, because at least a Telegram is behind the scenes. And nobody really will know about that, because most people don't really know what Telegram is like that. If you trying to get, that's how you do it. Nah, she can't go to the white side. The white people would never deal with her. The white boys would. If she went to the white, even if she starts doing all that racial shit to black people, you got a baby with a black guy, bitch. Fuck you. Them white today, there's a reason she stayed on the black side, because she knew that's where her butter was buried. Number one, the white people, first thing they gonna say is, bitch, you a mulatto, bitch, and your mom is white trash. The second thing they're gonna, and plus, too many black people or black adjacent have ran that play. Like Stacey Dash ran that play. A lot of these dudes are low-key tired of Candace Owens, because, you know, they kissing ass to Charlie Kirk's wife. You know, so she would get ate up over, and then white people, they would show no mercy on her. They would show no mercy on her. She already looking like she gonna crack. She's already mixed. She already, what, you mean to tell me she gave her entire 20s and half her 30s to black dick? And you telling me she gonna go to the white side? Please, they would have fun with her, man. They would beat her ass like a pinata. They would verbally troll her so hard. You should see what these motherfuckers be doing with these white bitches. They be doing that. She would that would never fly. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. It doesn't matter how many white dudes she banged. They don't measure that. They measure, of course she has, but they measure how many black dudes you dealt with. And she's a single mom? Oh, hell no. That would never fly. They would never let that. She wouldn't go past go. There's no money in there for her with the white boys. Even if she started talking all that concern. Here's the thing, you can't be a conservative. That also is going to require her to completely let go of her feminism, which that's the biggest issue with her. But that's actually what she should do. That's what she should do. That's really the role, because then you can operate like a young MILF, because you're just 34. That's how if you were gonna do it, that's how you do it. You get back to your more fitness days, that's how you do it. And there's never gonna be what she could have been, but that's how you would do it if she really want to get some money without needing nobody and get some decent money. The problem is she still wants a lifestyle. Brittany Renner wants to be a feminist kept woman. That's oxymoronic, and that's the conundrum that is her. That's the paradox. She wants to be a kept woman but still act like a feminist. That's retarded. And that's how you know nobody ever gave her the game. She just looked like a little white girl with a tan, with an ass, and that's the only place she's been running. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. I appreciate it, but I gotta go. Make sure y'all hit me up. And with that being said, it's Edward signing off. Peace.